Okay, so we'll start with the refuge and bodhicitta, and as always, the point is to be in the good mood. Maybe we can say in that way, just to focus on enlightenment, wishing to reach enlightenment, understanding that not only for us but also for all sentient beings. So this is the main principle of that. But sure, it's in its way, it's a training. In fact, just by reciting this prayer and being in this motivation. So we recite the prayer, and after we think about it. Just we, it's like the starting, really the starting of the practice in itself. O sangye che tang tsoge cho nam la chan cho para tu da ne cha sui chi da ge jen tsoge pe su nam ki ro la pen chir sangye drum para sho sem chen tam che de wa tang de ve ju ten para ju ji Dungal don dungal ge ju dong dong wara ju ji. Dungal me be de wa dong ba dong min dal wara ju ji. Nye ring ja dong nye dong tel we dong nyum jen bo la para ju ji. Bal de za we la ma rim bo ji. Dage je wara be me de jola ka den jen be go ne je zond go song do ge ma do zal do so. So we take a little time just to reflect on that and to establish the wish to reach enlightenment for the welfare of all sentient beings, to establish the wish, this wish, in our mind. Okay, perfect. So, in fact, not symbolically, but the purpose of that prayer is also to, after that, to engage in okay, no problem, Yanis. But I mean, yes, it's a problem for you. I hope you, yeah, but I can see you very clearly. You say you have a problem with your connection. It seems okay, no? I don't know. Okay, we hope. Anyway, I'm recording this session, so after, if there is any problem with your connection, so we can see the replay on the YouTube channel. Let's do it like this. So yes, I was just saying that in fact, when we recite this refuge prayer and bodhicitta, so normally it means that the practice in which we enter after that is considered as the really way, the really mean to reach enlightenment for the welfare of all sentient beings. It's a way of saying consciously that this is where we want to go through that practice. Uh, it can be any kind of practice. It can be shine, it can be chenrezi, whatever you do, whatever we do. So it means that Lojong, in that case, Lojong, it's the way. It's the way for us. In that circumstances, it's the way to reach enlightenment for the welfare of all sentient beings. Last time, I had the let's say the project or just the idea of practicing together, but As far as I remember, I think we didn't get the time to do it. No, I have this in my mind. Okay, Regina, you agree with that, huh? So we thought that today we'll really practice more than just speaking. Um, so I don't know if the way of practicing this Lojong on Tonglen is very clear, but just to summarize again, we can say that practically we have to be clear about the equality with others. So this is the main point. And after, on top of that, as Shantideva is mentioning, and not only him, but yeah, he's the one we can relay on to understand this. But there is this equality with others, and after, on top of that, so we start to exchange with others. So this is technically the way we proceed in order to enter in the exercise of Tonglen. Tong means to give, len means to take. So to give our happiness, virtues, qualities, and to take for us the suffering of others. But to make it very short, we cannot do that if we don't understand that we are the same as the others. So, because for a very simple reason, it's that we just want the exact same things than the other, as the other they want. So they want to be happy, we want to be happy. They want to be free from suffering, we want to be free from suffering. It's as simple as that. But after, yeah, sure, when we really dig deeply in that, so we find a lot of difficulties sometimes to really understand what it means. But in a very basic or simple way of expressing it, it's not so complicated to understand this. Because, yes, really, we just want to be happy. They want to be happy. We don't want to suffer. They don't want to suffer. But to do properly the exercise, so we also have to understand that, and it's make on purpose. We don't wish for a certain kind of happiness or a certain kind of suffering that we want to get rid of. This is really important because otherwise we always have the possibility of thinking that Regina's happiness or Nikki's happiness, it's not mine, because they have their own feeling and perceptions. And if we follow that track, so it's endless because we'll never find a way of understanding that in fact this is not the point. The point is not the form, it's not the shape of that happiness that we wish for. The point is just to be happy. And as Shantideva is saying for suffering, there is not my suffering or your suffering. There is only the suffering. So it's impersonal. For him, it's very clear that we make it personal, but there is nothing personal in this. It's just the play of identification or the process of identification that makes us really personal. For instance, the good example is now Klaus. He is in Goa in India. Temperature is very different, and environment it's totally different. And so we can imagine that Klaus' situation is so particular, as I'm describing it. But in fact, he's just happy to be there. That's all. And this is the point. The point is not that we need to be in that situation to be happy, and others, if they don't, they are not there, so it's different. No, it can be in the snow, it can be under the rain, it can be in a warm country, in a very cold country, it can be north, south, it doesn't matter. So we keep this in mind. So this is very important. Why do we keep this in mind? Because when we are making Tonglen, and we'll do Tonglen this evening, when we are making Tonglen, so Tong means give, Len means to take for me. So it means that we don't aim for or to give something particular or to take something particular. So like I really like this book, so I want to give it that book. No, I give the pleasure I found in whatever I found, pleasure. It's not that I offer the exact object of pleasure, but I offer the satisfaction, the feeling of satisfaction. So this I can offer, and I have to do according to Jungle Control Ojotaye, and to many others, other masters. I have to do it in pure joy. So this is so important. So it means that when I'm doing Tonglen, but I will go again to that point after. But just to make it clear for us, when we give, so we are happy to give. When we take, we are happy to take. Because it's always related to what we usually feel, in fact. I'm happy when I get something that makes me happy. So there is joy in that. So I'm there is problem with connection. It's my problem with connection. It's possible, I don't know. Normally I have a good connection. You have good connection, Yanis? Yes. Okay. Pavel also?
I just see very often frozen picture, but it's not your connection, maybe.
It's your connection? Oh, this is really sad. But do you hear clearly?
Yes.
Okay.
No, yes, but it stops. But I will go.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So this aspect of joy is so interesting because he really insists. So Jungle Controller Dotaye, he insists um, because this is really tremendously important, because we are not suffering by giving something, we are not suffering by taking the suffering of others. There is always behind, there is the joy, and we feel that joy, even if it's not maybe natural at the beginning, but we have to train in that, just by remember it, you know and again, remembering that when we are in that position of receiving joy, receiving happiness, so it makes us joyful. And when we finally get rid of any kind of suffering, we are very joyful too. So that's why we have the equality of others behind Tonglen. Because when we give happiness to others, so we know that it makes us happy. So we know that the others will be happy. So it's a joy in itself. And when we take the suffering of others and we take it for us, so why we are happy? We are happy because we remember that when we can get rid of any kind of suffering, so we are very happy. So they too, they are very happy. But this is just a training of the mind. It doesn't mean that it's changed something, you know. Maybe it changed something, but we don't know that. We cannot check. If every sentient beings, they feel different because we are doing Tonglen or not. But even if we can have the proof of this, we don't have to think that we need a proof, because we have to remember that I say we have to. I don't know if we have to, but it would be very good if we can remember that the main point is to change our mind, to change ourselves. So in fact, we are, how we say, we are trying to cure ourselves by doing this. What we cure from what kind of sickness we're trying to be free. It's the sickness of the grasping of an ego, to put in that way, because this is the main problem. Not the ego. The ego is not a problem, but to believe in something that exists in that way. This is the problem. Because that's why we are speaking about ignorance. That's all. So by doing Tonglen, so slowly we can change. Possibly we can change the way we think, the way we perceive things. Yeah. So this is just to remember us, and after from that we can maybe go into the practice. And so we have, before we go to the practice, we have one point. The first point is to train ourselves in preliminaries. So this is the first of the 59 aphorism of Lojong. And the second one is no, not now. The second one, just the first one. The first one is training ourselves in preliminaries. So when we do the practice, we also have a preliminary practices. But what I just said before, it's a way of understanding also the preliminaries, just to remember that. And more classically, we can say that we have to turn our mind to the Dharma by reflecting on precious human body, death, impermanence, karma, and shortcomings of cycle of existence. So by this, we can turn our mind toward the Dharma. So these are the classical preliminaries. We have to train in that. Yeah, absolutely, it's sure. But in the context of the practice, the formal practice, so in that case, we have the Guru Yoga as in the preliminary, and after we have the supplication or the prayer. This is the Guru Yoga, but the Guru Yoga, we go through visualization, supplication, and after supplication is very important because we really we make the wish to develop in ourselves this love and compassion, and after that we have resorption. So it means the teacher, the guru, he's melting in light at the crown of our head, and this light descend and goes to our heart. And after, we don't have to do something very special. It's just we remain in the non-conceptualization. And after from that, we do Shine for a while. And after we enter in Tonglen. So this is the process. So preliminaries in that case means to do that before Tonglen. And in another way, doing or making preliminaries means to go back to the equality with others, understanding this, and many things. But a summarize of that I said. Okay, so maybe we can, so maybe this evening, in order not, especially for me, because I always speak too much, so I don't want to speak more than that, maybe a little bit more after, but now we do the practice. Is it okay for you? Okay, good. Do you have, Yanis, you also have the text? for the practice. Yes, excellent. A great path of awakening. So this is the commentary. See, this is the commentary. But do you have the practice? I mean the practice book. Where we recite the prayer and. Do you have this? No, you don't have this. Okay.
I can send it again to the group now.
Yes, maybe. Yes, it would be very nice. So Yanis, I think you are on the group in the WhatsApp group. So okay, you can maybe check with that. Otherwise, Regina, you can do that after. We'll make it very simple. I will just describe the visualization. We do the visualization, and perfect, you send it already. We do the visualization, and after we do the prayer, just like this, and it's enough. If we don't have the text, it's not important. Okay. So we start with the visualization. Refuge and bodhicitta we already recite. So now we just think that above my head and the throne of the lotus and the moon resides the root guru. Root guru here means the one who is the embodiment of all the qualities. He's the root guru in the really ultimate way. So even if we may have a guru or a lama, we don't have to be so attached to this form. So he represents the essence of all the gurus. So this is important for us to remember. And description says that his face is smiling, his body is radiant, and he regards all beings with compassionate intent. In essence, he is the union of all roots guru and lineage lamas. So that's why, we have to remember that he represents that. All the lineage lamas of the lineage of Lojong. So it's important for us because it's a way to have a link with all the practitioners, the accomplished masters of the past and the present, and to think that we are establishing a link with them just by this visualization first. To make it simple, it can be Karmapa, no problem with that, sure. And after we pray, in fact, and this is really interesting for us because sometimes we may have some difficulties to pray, because praying, it means to whom I am praying, I don't know. I can have doubts and things like that. But when we pray in that context, it's not to, yeah, sure, we say, may I beg you, bring forth in me incomparable love, compassion, and bodhicitta. So there is this kind of wording, but the point is that we make the wishes, When we say, I beg you, bring forth in me incomparable love, so we have to, let's say, be moved by that. So it's interesting to see that we pray like this hundreds or thousands of times. Why do we say this? We say this because we need to be moved by the wish of, willing to develop this love and compassionate, incomparable love, compassion, and bodhicitta. So we can recite this prayer in ourselves, saying, pure Lama and perfect spiritual master, grant me your grace, grant me your blessing. I beg you, bring forth in me incomparable love, compassion, and bodhicitta. To make it clear with the words, with the meaning. And so what I will do, I will just recite this prayer in Tibetan, not to say that you have to recite it in Tibetan, but just to give you a support to after to put in yourself the meaning of the prayer, and taking a little time just to feel that wish in ourselves. Okay, we try to do that. Lama yang daba yung ge ge we shin yin jen pe da la jen je la do sol jam nin je jung jum ge sem je bara jen je la ge wara je do sol Lama yang daba yung ge ge we shin yin jen pe da jen je la do sol jam nin je jung jum ge sem je bara jen je la ge je do sol Lama yang daba yung ge ge we jen yin jen jin je la do sol jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara jen je la ge wa Lama yang daba yung ge ge we jen yin jen be da jin je la do sol jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara jen je la je do sol Lama yang daba yung ge ge we jen la jin je la do sol jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara jen je la ge sol Lama yang daba yung ge ge we jen yin jen be da la jin je la do sol jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara jen je la ge Lama yang daba yung ge ge we jen yin jen jin je la do sol jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara jen je la ge wara je do sol Lama yang daba yung ge ge we jen yin jen be je la do sol jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara jen je la Lama yang daba yung ge ge we jen yin jen be da lam do sol lam jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara jen je be do sol Lama yang daba yung ge ge we jen yin jen be lam do sol jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara jen je la je wara je do Yung daba yung ge ge we jen yin jen be da la jen je la do jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara je wara je do sol Lama yang daba yung ge ge we jen yin jen je la do sol jam nin je jung jung ge sem je bara je la ge wara je do sol. Then we think that the Guru is melting in light. This light melts in us. It goes down to the heart level. We imagine then that the Guru is at the level of our heart, like in a tent of light, open on the upper part. And after from that we start Shine for a little while. A very simple Shine with we pay attention to the breathing, trying to stay with the breathing, not to go somewhere else, but just to be concentrated on that while we are relaxed also, not too tense, too afraid to lose the breathing, but just present, to to whatever it's happening, in fact. But present to the breathing for a while. After from that, so we can start to develop Tonglen. in a very simple way. We first think about someone we love. For instance, it can be our mother or father, sure, but someone we really have a very simple and obvious love. We don't have to questioning to think about, just we love. And so because we love that person, so it's a pleasure to imagine that we can offer something very precious, like the virtues we have, like the good opportunities we have, like all the good conditions we have. So we think about that, and maybe we can focus only on that first, with that breathing out. So while breathing out, so we think that all our happiness, all our qualities, our virtues goes out in the shape of rays of light. If we want, it's not compulsory to imagine rays of light. It's just to make it easy to perceive in a way, to perceive it in a way a little bit clearly or clearer. So we just try to do that first. But if we want, if we are used to, so we can follow with taking this suffering from that person. It can be also all the sentient beings, but it's good to train with someone we really care for. And when we take the suffering, it's again very simple. We are full of joy, thinking that, oh, finally, this person is free from that, because we remember how it is pleasant to get rid of suffering. So we try to give sense to this just by doing the exercise. So maybe we can make a little break. Just a little break to. After we can continue, but we can just think again. We can go back maybe to the understanding of equality with others. You know, it's very cold outside. Not for clouds, but for us, it's very cold. And so we can imagine how comfortable it is to be in a warm apartment, in a warm flat house. You know, it's really pleasant. So just that. So, you know, sensation of warmness. So because of that, so we can imagine, you know, to give that sensation of warmness to everyone, to the particularly to the person we love. You know, it can be something very simple if it helps us to encourage this sensation of giving. You know, it's not that this is the real source of happiness in the Buddhist point of view. It's not because it's very warm that okay, we will be happy for the rest of our life. But it's a way to train. We can imagine different sort of things to help us. Is it okay for you to do that? Is it giving you a sense or a meaning, or it is just a big question mark in your head, and or how it is? It is okay. Yeah, perfect. Yanis, yeah,
Fine.
perfect. Yeah, okay, it makes sense. So it's good. So it's good. So we can continue from that. And after we can see for the rhythm, you know, because sometimes to give and to take in one breathing, sometimes it's a little bit difficult. It depends. Everyone can react in a different way. But if this is the case, so we can just remember to to do first, you know, giving a little more, you know, and after that we can go on taking, you know. We can also do that. It's not absolutely compulsory right away to give and take in the same breathing. It is said in that way, but we can adapt also. Okay. When you feel ready, we can start again. Jungkook Controller.ie says that it's good to have really this imagination of, he speak about his mother, but you know, the imagination of that person we love, that person we care. To imagine she is that person, she's in front of us. So it can help to really imagine this. Okay, we can again make a little pause or exchange on what is happening. If we, I don't know, have some questions or experiences to share. And just to say that after that, so we can, when we want to finish, we just do the dedication, and after we can add some wishes, or we can also add on the 7 branch prayer at the end, at the really end, if we want. So the form is very simple. In fact, there is only this Guru Yoga, Shine, and Tonglen, and dedication at the end. So it's simple and profound. And we can also sometimes do the exercise that we done sometimes together. So reflecting on love and after compassion, and using the 5 steps. First, wishing that may I be happy and be in contact with the source or causes of happiness. And after we think the same way, but for someone we love, may that person be happy and be in contact or have the source of happiness. And after we can reflect on someone that we don't know, we can, I don't know, met that person crossing the street in a shop, grocery shop somewhere, in a train, and we wish for that person, may this and all these persons be happy and get in contact with the source or causes of happiness. And after, the 4th step is to think about someone we don't love, we don't like. Sometimes even we can say we dislike because we have problems with that person. And so we just open our mind thinking that yes, why not? In fact, may this person also be happy and get with the causes of happiness. And finally, the 5th step is to think about all sentient beings. So I have to leave. You have to leave, Yanis. No problem. No problem. All the best. And yeah, sure. All the best, Yanis. And take care. And yes, and using these 5 steps, it's very good. We can also use the 5 steps with compassion in the same way, thinking, may I be free from suffering and the causes of suffering we use for that. We think about us first, and after the one we love, the one we don't know, the one we dislike, and all the sentient beings. So like that, to do that, it's a very good training. Sometimes it's not written in that way in the classical text, but we can use it as a training in itself to be more ready to imagine that yes, in fact, we are really equal to others, with others. And so yeah, because Tonglen, when we do Tonglen, according to Jongongoto, when we do Tonglen, we have no doubt. It's totally clear that we want to do Tonglen because we have no doubts. So it's a pleasure. Again, it's really to insist a little bit more on that, but it's really a pleasure to give happiness. It's a pleasure to free that person from suffering. So there is no more doubt. But in order not to have any kind of doubts. So training ourselves with these 5 steps, it's really good, can be really helpful. Yeah, so that's all. It's very simple, you know. I don't know if you have any comment on that. Maybe, yeah, as usual, we have to remember the second instruction. The second instruction is to say that everything is like a dream. So we understand that also. It's not that there is a real pain that we deliver the other from it, or that there is a real happiness, that something material that we give. It's we really understand that we train our mind in that way, and this is sure. And another beautiful, after a beautiful sentences or aphorism, it's to remember that we always have the possibility in the life to, when we meet something, when we are in contact with an emotion, we always have the possibility of using that situation in the context of mind training or Tonglen. Because when there is something difficult, we can just remember that it's difficult for us, so I pray that all the difficulties that I experiment in this really moment, in this moment, may all the difficulties of all the sentient beings being include or resolve or melt, yes, melt is maybe the proper word, melt in that suffering that it's mine, So I'm happy just to think that, it's very good to think that, yes, I'm not the only one to suffer from that. It can be just a small thing, like impatience because, I don't know, we don't really get what we would like to get, can be anything. So there is plenty of situation in that way. So that's why we train formally in order to react in the everyday life situation more naturally in that perspective. That's all.
For me, it's a great pleasure to meditate together.
Yes, it's nice. You're right. Yes.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, it's nice to do that. Yeah, really. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And after also, not after, but sometimes we can, yes, why not? We can use also a singular or particular situation. We can try that, and we can also try to work or to train our mind with some people with whom it's difficult, just in order to understand something more about that situation. Sometimes it can be tricky. It's difficult to understand, what is at stake, and to understand more clearly, what is going on. In fact, in this anger or in this uh, difficulty, really difficult. I don't know. It can be a difficult relation we have with someone. So it's also good because maybe it opened the possibility just to do Tonglen. Sometimes it gives us the possibility that it may be different. So that's why the exercise with the 5 steps is very good, because by doing this exercise, it's like um, being open to the possibility that it can be different. A little bit like, yes, let's imagine that. A little bit, for instance, when we dislike a person, okay, we dislike that person, maybe. But why not to try just not to love that person? We don't have to go further, and to be very idealistic, thinking that now from I will love everyone. No. It's also very interesting not to love everyone, because otherwise, we don't have situation to work with mind training. So it's not, again, it doesn't mean that we have to be perfect. Otherwise, it's pointless. We work with our confusion again, always. Always. It's beautiful. I don't know if you remember I don't know if I gave you that, but maybe I will find it for you. It's really something beautiful. I will find. Just wait. There is a beautiful. Yeah. Okay. I have it only in French, and this is too bad, because it would be very nice to get it in. Just wait. Maybe I will try to find it. Because it goes in that perspective. It's the commentary of Seychelles. It's a beautiful. It's maybe the first. Yes. Seychelles. Yes, I found it. Perfect. It's a beautiful commentary. Maybe the first commentary who was written on the Chekawa Yeshe Dorje's aphorism. So the 7 point of mind training. So he had one disciple, Seychelles, and so Seychelles, he wrote a commentary, really the first one, and he said in his commentary, there is many things, but he said, just as the lotus does not grow out of a well-leveled soil, but from the mere, so the dirt, or yes, let's say the dirt. In the same way, the awakening mind is not born in the hearts of disciples in whom the moisture of attachment has dried up. So this is beautiful, It says that it cannot develop, in the heart of disciples in whom the moisture of attachment has dried up. So we need to be imperfect in that case, because we have to understand through the imperfect condition of our being that there is room for others, for other imperfections. And after he continues saying, it grows instead in the heart of ordinary sentient beings who possesses in full all the feathers of bondage. So it's quite interesting. You have to be totally trapped to try or to develop this mind training, because otherwise you don't understand what it is to be trapped. So it's like you don't know why you are making the wish of willing or wishing that all sentient beings may be free from suffering. So you have to understand something, And so he continues saying, therefore, in dependence upon this self-grasping, it is possible to cultivate the awakening of mind that exchange self on others, which is the uncommon cause for attaining Buddhahood. This very self-grasping is therefore the bone of the Buddhas. So, quite clear, it's because of the self-grasping that we become of a Buddha. So this is really something, to say that. It's not that we have to get rid from the self-grasping, then we'll be a Buddha. No, it's because we have this confusion that we can work on it. And so this is really interesting. Yes. That's all, my friends. Yes. Maybe if you want, I can send you this quotation to the group. So like that, we can reflect on that. Okay?
Would be great.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Do you have any kind of question or commentary or remarks? Maybe not. It's perfect. Yeah?
I have a thought, and we already were talking about it in the past, because you said this Tonglen happens always, or it's for the mind, the training for the mind. But I think when it's possible to heal people from afar, it's also possible that some things are changing energetically through this Tonglen.
You mean changing the situation of others?
Yes.
Yes, possibly.
What do you
Yeah.
think about it?
No, it's possible. Shaman Rinpoche, in his commentary, he says that it's possible. But the point maybe for us, it's to be, how to say, imagine that you expect that it change or that it would change. Okay, why not? But if it's not the case, what you will do with that, you will think that it's not successful, or that you're losing something, that or you are doing wrong, and or you are not enough perfect, or things like that. And so again, we are trapped. We are trapped again in the same tricks. And so maybe this can be a problem, but sure, why not to say that we can change something? Because we change ourselves. So by changing ourselves, we change a lot. Anyway, if we want to do something for this world, so we have to change. But if we imagine a lot of people, making Tonglen, for instance, the life can be really different. Less hatred, less anger, more love, more compassion, more understanding. Wow, the world can be very different. And less bomb, less attacks, less suffering, less many things, So yeah, sure, it's not impossible, that it change. Usually, I try just to follow the text, not to interfere with the text, just in order to not to develop a sort of imagination on that, But it doesn't mean that it's not possible, because we have examples, of Yogi Maitri, for instance. He was one of the teachers of Atisha. He has really the possibility of taking, but for real, taking the suffering of others, It's possible. So yes, it's possible,
But it helps me also a lot what you said, because it creates a lot of expectations, and also the image that you do something with the other people, and
exactly. exactly. This maybe this is the only problem. But after that, we just have to try something, to test, to see how we react. If by doing Tonglen, we think that we have to fix the situation, and yeah, in that case, yeah, okay, maybe we want to fix, but do we have a lot of love and compassion? It's not sure. Because if I want to fix the problem of Pavel, yeah, okay, but maybe I can imagine that I know a lot of things. It's not always because I have a real understanding of the situation. Sometimes, we can also imagine that having a true understanding of the situation, maybe this is just for joke, sure, but maybe Pavel has to continue to suffer a little bit more. If I'm really compassionate. So what is to be really compassionate? It's difficult to answer to that. So it's also a way of being aware of not having an easy answer to everything. It's not that we don't have an answer, but it can be subtle. It can be tricky also sometimes.
Yeah. Thanks. This helped me a lot. Your answer.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you're welcome, Nikki.
Hey, Jean-Marc, I have one question.
Yeah.
About when we do Tonglen, related with the second point. No?
Yes, sure.
Like how phenomena are like a dream or as a dream.
Yeah.
Also, this includes the selflessness, no?
Yes.
That means also that the practice of the Tonglen,
Yeah.
is also moist with this selflessness. No, it's
Yeah.
like made from this state. No, that means that when they say that you should feel happy or unhappy, or I mean happy when you are doing the Tonglen, no, or you feel the unhappiness of others.
Yes.
It's also always connected with this lack of real existence. I mean, like you perceive, there is the suffering because you also suffer, but also that there is not ultimate reality in
Yes.
the person who is doing it. No?
Yeah, sure. But yes, but in the classical commentary, maybe the way of reflecting it's not exactly this. I don't know. I'm not sure. Why I'm saying this is because when, for instance, jungle control says that we are happy, it's also related to the fact that we know what is the cause of happiness and what is the cause of suffering. So the cause of happiness is virtue, and a cause of suffering is non-virtue. So, but sure, we are performing bad actions only because we are trapped in our ignorance. So the antidote of this is really to understand that there is no meaning to do that, because the really reason for why you are doing this is wrong. You are doing that to protect yourself or to get something more, or anyway, the kleshas, they cannot develop they cannot develop without ignorance. So sure. So ignorance is to ignore the emptiness, ultimately speaking. So this is absolutely clear. But when Changren Control says we have to be happy, it's because we know that there is a cause to happiness, a cause to suffering, and so we are working on that level. So it means that when I give my happiness, it's not that I want to make others happy. I'm giving to them all my virtues. So I imagine this, So I'm giving to them the causes of happiness. So I'm happy for that. So in the classical way of understanding, we don't lose, we keep that in mind. And so when we imagine that the other is free from suffering, we are happy because we take for ourselves the root of suffering. So it means the kleshas, the ignorance, we take that, not only the experience of suffering, but also the cause of suffering. So we are happy for that. This makes us happy. But sure, you're right. We understand this also because we have an understanding of emptiness. Otherwise, we cannot understand this. Because usually people, they don't understand that, or I mean emptiness, even in a very small level. People, when they don't understand this, they really believe in kleshas. They believe in kleshas because they believe that it will bring them happiness. Really. But you cannot believe in that when you reflect a little bit, even just a little bit, on emptiness. It's really difficult because, for instance, thinking that you can be happy making the other or making harm to others, it's really something strange. So in that case, we're forgetting that there is nothing, there is nothing really sound in this, because how to say that. For instance, in the commentary by Shantidevas, he says that there is not your suffering, my suffering. It's just an imputation, and so an imputation means that just because you imagine that this one is your enemy, so he's your enemy. Just because of a wrong imagination. We don't have to go very far to develop causes of suffering. Just imagination, it's enough. A wrong imagination makes us very sad. But the imaginations, any kind of imagination, cannot develop if we don't believe in the reality of things. It's impossible, because we have to believe in something that we imagine. We have to think that what we imagine is real. Otherwise, it's just an imagination. But you have to do more than just imagining. You have to think that your imagination is real. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So this is the proof of the lack of understanding of emptiness. When you just reflect a little bit, you understand that your imagination is just an imagination. No. Yeah, because to imagine that, that this person is a real bad person. Yeah, and if I'm afraid from that person, it's because I perceive in that way. Maybe this person can be dangerous. Yes, sure. This is also happening in the world, but my fear. Anyway, my fear comes from the fact that I see only that perspective. I'm trapped in my imagination. In a Buddhist perspective, the only way not to be trapped in imagination, it's to understand emptiness.
Yeah, this is the point.
Sorry.
My point. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand this experience or understanding of emptiness can be meld with the practice of Tonglen and making the practice not artificial, making the practice natural, as could be resting in this state. No?
Yes.
More this my yeah. And I have to request by the way. One is like when I did the course with, I remember last course with Lama Sampo. He in Tonglen, he was teaching us the breathing for the stale air. This 9 breathing exercise. I remember he was teaching us that.
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The breathing to purify the.
Yes, to purify.
Yeah, was inside of the course of Tonglen.
Okay.
And I would like to do with you if you can this. And the other thing is, like technically you could give us the lung, right?
Yes, the lung. Yes. Technically, I can give it to you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, technically,
like,
yes, I can.
Maybe we can meet one day or
Yes.
one of this day, and you can give us the lung of.
Yes. Sure.
What you prefer? I mean, the root test or
Yeah.
even the Yama control is very long, no?
It's quite very long. It's quite long. But yes, I receive it. So technically, whatever kind, of lung I received, I can give it. So I can give it to you. Yeah, sure. Or at least the practice text, I can give it to you, or the prayers. Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? And I will check with maybe with Lama Songpo again for that instruction, just to not to make mistake with that. Oh yeah. Yes, why not? Okay, friends. What do you think? Maybe we stop here with the dedication? Huh? Can be good. And so like that, after class can go to and eat for us beautiful coconuts, because there is beautiful coconut in Goa, I'm sure. Okay. So a dedication. Sonam di tamche zigpa ni tomne nyebe danam pamje ne kega nache mbala tuba sibe tsole dowarai sho. And so we take a short moment, few instants, just to really make that prayer, that wishes prayer, to give to all sentient beings all the virtues we accumulate during that session. And may that virtues become the cause of reaching enlightenment for all these sentient beings. Okay, friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you. And see you soon. Huh?
I also want to thank you, even though I came late.
No problem, July.
But I managed to start with you the practice.
Perfect. No.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. No, it's a pleasure. You come whenever you can. No problem.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. And so we'll hoping that it was okay for you also, Pilar.
Yes, it was really excellent.
Okay.
I feel like very deep openness, and yeah, I'm very grateful for it.
Marvelous. Excellent. And so with you,
Jean-Marc,
yeah?
just to remind that people can make donations
Yes, if they want, yes.
website of the Genève Center,
Yeah.
Buddhist Center, and you can donate for yeah for
Yeah.
for yeah donation.
Donation, no problem. If they want, yeah, sure, no problem. It's not compulsory, really, as you really not. And after we'll have to find some dates, no, Regina. So
Yeah.
we'll work on that. Huh? We'll work on it.
Yes, we are in
Okay.
touch.
Yeah. Okay. I will be in India from the 12th of December. I go to the Kajumanlam, and I will be back in Switzerland the 7th of January. Just to know. But yeah, but we can, yeah. From there can be maybe a little bit difficult, so maybe it's better to wait for January. Okay. Okay. You will be in you will be in Bodh Gaya, Klaus? Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Very good. So we'll meet there.
Yeah, the course will come up from the 1st of December and then directly.
Excellent. So perfect. So, friends, I wish you very good holidays, and to all of you, Christmas holidays maybe, good retreat, good practice, good health.
Likewise.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
All the best.
Bye bye. All the best.
All the best.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.